Their life was different 50 years ago. The streets were bustling with people dressed in the fashion of the times, and workplaces had a very different atmosphere. Many jobs required physical strength and endurance. Men toiled in coal mines, factory workers assembled products by hand, and farm laborers worked the fields from dawn till dusk. Factories, mines, and farms were common workplaces. These environments were often harsh and demanding, requiring a great deal of manual labor and resilience. People worked with their hands, often in challenging conditions. Today, things are different. The nature of work has evolved dramatically over the past few decades. Technology has changed the job landscape. Computers, automation, and digital communication tools have revolutionized the way we work. Office jobs are now the norm for many. Open-plan offices, cubicles, and tech startup environments have become the new workplaces. We spend hours sitting at desks, staring at screens, typing on keyboards, and navigating through digital interfaces have become our daily tasks. This shift from physical labor to sedentary work has impacted our mental well-being. Desk fatigue, eye strain, and stress from prolonged screen time are common issues. We face new stresses like information overload and the pressure to be constantly on. The digital age has brought about a new set of challenges, requiring us to adapt and find balance in our work lives. Remote work has also become more prevalent, offering flexibility but also blurring the lines between work and personal life. Virtual meetings and home office setups are now part of our daily routines. The gig economy and freelance work have introduced new ways of earning a living. Co-working spaces, cafes, and even exotic locations have become offices for many. Despite the challenges, this new era of work has also opened up opportunities for creativity and innovation. People are finding new ways to collaborate and bring their ideas to life. As we navigate this changing landscape, finding a balance between work and well-being is crucial. Mindfulness practices and wellness programs are becoming integral parts of the modern workplace. The face of work will continue to evolve, driven by technological advancements and changing societal needs. Adapting to these changes will be key to thriving in the future of work. 50 years ago, traditional gender roles were more rigid. Back then, societal expectations were clear-cut, and deviations were often frowned upon. The family structure was typically patriarchal, with men holding the reins of financial power. Men were often the primary breadwinners. They were expected to work long hours, climb the corporate ladder, and provide for their families. This role was seen as their primary duty and source of identity. They went to work while women primarily managed the household. Women were the caretakers responsible for raising children, cooking meals, and maintaining the home. Their contributions, though crucial, were often undervalued and taken for granted. Today, men and women share the workforce more equally. The modern era has seen a significant shift in gender roles, with both men and women pursuing careers and sharing household responsibilities. This evolution has been driven by the fight for gender equality and the recognition of women's capabilities beyond domestic spheres. This change is positive, but it also brings new challenges. The blending of roles means that both genders now face the pressures of balancing professional and personal lives. The expectations to excel in both areas can be daunting. Both men and women now juggle work and family responsibilities. The dual-income family model has become more common, necessitating a more collaborative approach to managing household duties and childcare. The pressure to succeed in both spheres can be overwhelming. The demands of a competitive work environment, coupled with the responsibilities of home life, can lead to burnout and fatigue. This balancing act can contribute to stress, anxiety, and even depression. The constant juggling of tasks and the need to meet high expectations in both personal and professional realms can take a toll on mental health. It's crucial for society to recognize these challenges and support individuals in finding a healthy balance. Some things never change, but the struggle for basic needs has been a constant throughout history. 50 years ago, people worried about putting food on the table. The 1970s were a time of economic uncertainty, with many families facing the harsh reality of food scarcity. Grocery stores often had empty shelves, and the dinner table was a place of concern rather than comfort, and keeping a roof over their heads. Housing was another major issue, with many families living in dilapidated conditions. The dream of owning a home was out of reach for many, and even renting a modest place was a struggle. These concerns remain very real for many today. Fast forward to the present, and the faces may have changed, but the struggles remain the same. Modern families still find themselves at food banks, and affordable housing is still a significant issue. The struggle to make ends meet can take a toll on mental well-being. Financial stress doesn't just affect the wallet, it impacts the mind and soul. The constant worry about bills and expenses can lead to family arguments and strained relationships. Financial stress is a major source of anxiety and depression. The weight of financial burdens can lead to severe mental health issues, including anxiety and depression. It's a vicious cycle where financial problems exacerbate mental health issues, which in turn make it harder to manage finances. The pressure to provide for yourself and your family can feel overwhelming. Many parents find themselves working multiple jobs, sacrificing their time and health to make ends meet. Late nights spent poring over bills become a common occurrence, adding to the stress and fatigue. When basic needs are not met, it's hard to focus on anything else, let alone mental health. An empty fridge and a nearly empty wallet are stark reminders of the ongoing struggle. When you're constantly worried about basic necessities, it's nearly impossible to focus on personal growth or mental well-being. The enduring struggle for basic needs is a battle that many continue to fight every day. Bullying is not a new phenomenon. It's existed for generations, leaving lasting scars on its victims. 50 years ago, bullying was often confined to schools and playgrounds. Today, it's taken on new forms. Cyberbullying in particular has become a pervasive threat. The internet and social media have given bullies new platforms to harass and intimidate. The anonymity of the online world can make it even more cruel and relentless. Abuse in all its forms thrives in silence and secrecy. 50 years ago, domestic violence, sexual assault, and other forms of abuse were often hidden from view. Victims were often too ashamed or afraid to speak out. Thankfully, we're starting to shine a light on these dark corners of our society. There's more awareness about abuse and its devastating impact. Support services are more available, and victims are finding the courage to come forward. Substance abuse has been a problem for centuries. 50 years ago, alcohol and tobacco were the primary culprits. Today, we're facing a more complex landscape. The opioid epidemic in particular has ravaged communities across the country. Prescription painkillers, heroin and fentanyl have taken a devastating toll. We're also seeing a rise in the abuse of stimulants and other drugs. We've come a long way in our understanding and treatment of mental health. The stigma is slowly fading and more people are seeking help. But our work is far from over. We need to continue to raise awareness, expand access to care, and support research into new and innovative treatments. Mental health is a critical component of overall well-being, and we must continue to prioritize it.